94 Rocks, Jay-Z hanging out once again, and I'm hanging out with Molly from the band Living Dead Girl. And Molly, great to see you again. You and I had a chance to meet back in 2024 at Rockfest. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great and a little chilly here today. I don't know where you're at today, but at least here it's raining, it's windy, maybe up to 40-mile-an-hour winds. So not
Ooh.
the best. So it's good to be indoors chatting with you.
Yeah, definitely stay inside if it's gross out.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, as I mentioned, last time we talked, it was at Rockfest, and you had just said, all right, I'm going to tell everybody I'm going into the studio. We're going to do a new album. And I'm guessing the album that you put out about a week and a half ago, Conspiracy, was that album.
That was that album. That was the very one.
Let's talk about that a little bit. And since that part back in July of 2024 to that release just a week ago on the 10th of October, what happened during that time?
So we went back and forth to Nashville three separate times, doing different sessions, recording the new songs that are obviously what Conspiracy is now. A lot of back and forth traveling. Like last year was pretty crazy. Like we went to the studio and recorded a bunch of songs like 2 or 3 days after we got home from like a 3 week long tour. Like it was a very busy, like jam-packed summer. And now like the album is finally out. It feels just like relieving to have all of that like in the books.
That's awesome. Now, when I met you, I didn't know much about the band, and you kind of told me you were Avril Lavigne fan and Marilyn Manson fan, and you kind of put together, and that's kind of what Living Dead Girl is. Is that still kind of the concept of what it is today now?
Definitely. I feel like our pop influences are just as important to us as our metal influences are because obviously we've got, our drop tuned riffs, our double kick drums, our screaming vocals, but there's still that element of pop music to it that keeps it melodic, catchy, upbeat enough that you want to sing along and dance to it. We're never just straight, pure heaviness all the time. We'd like to have those moments of pop. So I would definitely say we're like a good hybrid of genres.
You did say, though, you were going to get a little heavier and a little bit of darker, and I think you have gotten that way in the last 18 months.
We definitely did. The new album is a bit more serious than the first album. Not that the first album wasn't like serious. I mean, like topic wise and theme wise, I feel like this album's a little bit angrier than the first album was.
Any reason for that?
I feel like it honestly just came with like the part of my life I'm at while I'm writing. When I did Exorcism, some of those songs were written when I was like 17, 18 years old. And I was 20 when I went to the studio and recorded those ones. Whereas now with Conspiracy, I'm 26. I've had more major life changes. I've experienced like loss and grief, and I've moved internationally and made all kinds of big life changes. And I feel like those really just change the way you view things and view the world, and the way things like you react to things, the way things affect you. So I think honestly, it just came from like a point of maturity and just where my headspace was at the time.
What have you learned, I guess, since you've grown up from being that, 17-year-old girl to now a 26-year-old a woman and getting a chance to front a great band like this and get to play in front of hundreds to maybe thousands of people? What have you, I guess, learned in the music industry that has changed for you?
Oh, so many things. I feel like your whole outlook is just so different. Like I went into it so naive. Like on my very first tour, the Exorcism tour in 2022, I think it was 2022, was our very first tour ever. Before that, I had only played 8 shows in my life. Like I wasn't even experienced at playing live. And I just set off on my first US tour as a Canadian musician, going, this is going to be so much fun. Like, let's go. And I feel like I was just like humbled so quickly. It's like, oh my God, my whole body hurts. Singing live is a lot harder than singing in the studio. It's like all these hurdles you just learn how to overcome and things you get better at doing. So I feel like I'd honestly just went into it so ambitious and so green. And now I can like confidently say, okay, I'm an experienced musician after the past 3 or 4 years.
How about being on the road? I'm assuming that has changed too for you, what you used to be back in the day and now how you approach things today.
It's funny you say that because literally 5 minutes ago, I was just going through old photos from our first tour and I showed them to my husband and said, look how happy and how much fun I had on my first tour, how things have changed. Like the first tour, I was just so excited about everything. I was like, oh my God, I get to get my first truck stop shower. I get to sleep in a trailer park for the first time. This is so much fun. Whereas now it's like, I'm tired, I'm sore, I'm grouchy. I'm like, no one talked to me. I haven't had coffee yet. Like, It's not that you're not having fun and stuff. It's just that like the older you get, you're a bit less, you know, excited about it, I guess.
I hear you. I hear you. I have that times too when I come to work. I'm like, do I just stay in bed or not? But anyway, it's
Yeah, it's
you
like
know,
you're still happy to be doing it. It's just like the way that you portray that excitement looks a little different.
it does. Let's dive a little bit more into your album Conspiracy and kind of break it down for us a little bit and kind of your thought process of it and kind of the
Mhm.
different tracks and stuff. And I guess obviously it's your baby, so you love every one of them, but every one of them has probably kind of a different meaning, different what
Mhm.
you were thinking about. So kind of break that down a little bit for us.
So conspiracy, I feel like, is a really great follow-up to exorcism because where exorcism's perspective was written very inward, like it was very personal album, like talking about things that have happened to me and life experiences and like different ways people have affected me. And that's kind of what I was writing about that time. Whereas with conspiracy, I feel like the perspective is a little bit more outward. It's a little bit more about like society and other people and my observations and like like life events. Sorry, I just said like four times.
Yeah, that's okay.
um different things that are happening in the world and the way that you view them and the way they impact you versus just this is my personal experience. And I feel like that is part of what gave it a bit of a more mature, refined sound is that it's written from that more outward perspective, if that makes sense. Like conspiracy, I'm kind of talking about like these are the things I see happening around me and this is what I think about it. And I feel like that kind of changed my songwriting a bit.
Now, I haven't heard the whole album yet, but I have heard a few of the songs that you've had at least released early on. And I think Poison Me is one of those that was on there, correct? Which
Yes.
I thought was very, what's the word I'm looking, very rock radio friendly, I guess is the word I'm looking
Mhm.
for, even though we're not necessarily have to have a rock radio friendly song at 94 Rocks. We like it when it's heavy, it's hard, and it's true, and it's not edited. So, but I thought that was definitely a very cool song that you had.
Thank you. Yeah, I loved with Poison Me. It had a very moody and cinematic vibe, like with like the intro with the choir style vocals, and it just had like such a dark feeling to it for a Living Dead Girl song. And that was the second song I recorded for the whole album. So I feel like making that song kind of set the tone for the rest of the album. Once I heard it, I was like, let's lean into this some more.
Another one that I have heard is "We'll All Be Dead," and that I know was put out a little bit ago. I don't know if that's something maybe you're going to push out later again, but I like that one. That one was heavier.
That one, yeah, that one's pretty
That's some
all over the
bangers.
place. It was a little experimental. Like we have some like kind of like robot voices throughout it, and we really like got to play around with that one. It was a really fun song.
And then, of course, the current song we're spinning. And by the way, I just told you this when we came on the air. Our Rock in the Dark New Music poll last week wrapped up yesterday afternoon. We announced the winner, and it was your brand new song, Succubus. So, congratulations for winning the poll here. There's a lot of people that love the song. That's why it's going to get spun into our regular rotation during the day. Talk about that song.
Succubus is honestly one of my favorite songs Living Dead Girl's ever done. It's honestly the song that I feel like if you haven't heard Living Dead Girl before, this would probably be the one I would suggest people listen to first because it is one of the songs I am most proud of and it's one of my favorites. I just think it has such a cool kind of industrial 90s inspired, really gothic metal vibe to it. And I feel like it really showcases my vocals better than a lot of the other tracks because like in the verses, I'm doing like more of like a low singing, which is like the nice clean vocal. And then when the screams come in the chorus, like it just like punches you in the face. The screams are so epic. They come in so heavy. I just really love the energy of that song and like the lyrics. And it's also just a really fun song because it's fun to write songs that aren't really about anything. Like
Right.
this song isn't about a person. It's not about a personal experience or a heartbreak or whatever. It's literally just about a mythological sex demon. It's not that deep. It's just a fun song for the sake of making a fun song.
Yeah, and sometimes that is lost, I think, with artists. It's just sometimes you don't have to write about, like you mentioned, obviously there are some personal stuff that you write and that's kind of guided you this way, but there's other times where it's just like just make something stupid and see how it
Yeah.
sticks.
It's like you don't have to be so personal and so serious all the time. It is fun to just make art for the sake of it?
Absolutely. Now, I had a chance to watch you on stage at Rockfest in 2024, and I'm assuming you've grown as in the sense of on stage, your presence and all that. How has that been going since I saw you last?
Rockfest, honestly, still to this day is like one of my highlights of my entire life. That show was so much fun and such a great crowd. But since then, we have definitely played like a lot more shows. We've been touring. I feel like it's just the kind of thing that the more you do it, obviously, the more comfortable you get, the better you get. And honestly, I'm at the point where I watch old live videos and I cringe and go, oh my God, we're so much better now. So that definitely is encouraging to know, okay, we obviously are getting better with each show. If I already watch a video from 2 years ago and go, oh God. So definitely it's good to see the growth so quickly and actually seeing it pay off.
Well, when you get to be my age, you'll be like looking back at those and going, oh, yeah, actually, it was kind of decent looking back then and young back then, you know?
Yeah.
So in about 20, 30 years, you can look back at those and you'll be like, oh, laughing about it and everything.
Like actually was cooler than I gave myself credit for.
Absolutely. So you mentioned that touring, and you've done a little bit more of that. And now with this new album out, typically people go out and tour. So I'm guessing kind of the end of the year here, you're maybe not doing too much, but in 2026, there's a lot more on the horizon.
Yeah, so we're kind of hibernating for the winter, if that's what we want to call it. It doesn't really make sense to do much touring over the winter. People have their holiday plans and, money's tight with Christmas and everything. So we're gonna take a little break from the road for the next couple months, but not take a break from music though. We've got more music videos that we are working on coming out after Succubus has run its little course. We've got actually a documentary about
Hmm.
Living Dead Girl that is coming out later this year on Amazon Prime. And I'm very excited about that because it's the most in-depth look at being a DIY band we can offer people. So we're really excited about putting that out. And yeah, we're going to be working on booking our tours for 2026.
Okay. Any tours yet that we can talk about, or we still have to be tight-lipped on
Tight-lipped for now. Still,
them?
still got to confirm up some things before we can share.
How about music festivals? Are you planning on maybe trying to get to a few of those, maybe even back to Rockfest in 2026?
Yes, we're definitely like working on behind the scenes right now.
Okay, perfect. Are you a baseball fan?
No.
Okay, well, you're from Toronto, right?
Yes.
Oh, the Blue Jays just won yesterday, so they're in the World Series.
Oh, good. Yay! Yay!
Okay, well, do you follow any sports, I guess?
I couldn't even like name a sports team off the top
Okay.
of my head. That is how little I pay attention to sports, quite honestly.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Like a lot of interviews that I do, people are talking about video games. And I'm like,
Mm.
unless you're thinking Atari or maybe the original Nintendo, I'm like, I have no clue what you're talking about. So I
Oh yeah,
get
video games aren't my thing either.
I get it. So there's those things where sometimes you just don't, yeah, I have no idea. I'm staying in my lane. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm the I hope both teams have fun person.
Well, I'm sure that if they win it all, it'll be pretty crazy up there. So they haven't won a World Series, I think, since 1993. So Canada will go nuts then. They can't win a
Okay,
Stanley Cup, but they can maybe actually win a World Series. So on the
there
on
we
the
go.
on the sports side of things, yeah. I like to ask this question: what is something about your band you think everyone should know, but they don't?
They don't. Huh. I feel like kind of a like cool thing that I like to like brag about with my band is that we are completely DIY. But I feel like most people would know that by now. But I guess for those who don't, we're very much like a hands-on creative do-it-ourselves group of people. Like our music videos, like our drummer Steve films the music videos and he's in them and he edits them. We've been building our own sets, we've been filming music videos in our own house. Like the Poison Me video was in our backyard, the Succubus video was in our garage. Like we're very much like one-stop shop for all things creative in our band.
Very cool. Very cool. I'm guessing a lot of people probably are thinking there's all sorts of production, all this kind of stuff, and you're doing it on your own, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's funny. Like we'll put out a music video and people will comment something nice like, "Oh, your crew did such a great job," and we laugh. We're like, "What crew?"
Exactly. How about this? Collaborations. That seems to be a big thing in the industry right now. Artists collaborating with other artists and that. Have you dabbled into it much yet? And if you haven't, is there some that maybe you want to? Are there some secrets coming up about that? I guess what can you tell us about that?
It's not something we've done yet. I've had like I've been hired before to like lend vocals to other projects before, but I haven't done like any like official collaborations for Living Dead Girl yet. But it is definitely something that I would love to do one day. And honestly, I have such a huge list of people that I would love to work with if I ever got the opportunity. I think like my dream duet would be with Ronnie Radke. I
Okay.
love his vocals so much, and I feel like his voice kind of feels to me like the male version of my voice, like the really articulated, kind of like high energy pop punk kind of style vocals, and he can like really belt high, like he has a really impressive range for a male vocalist, and he can also scream. So I feel like if you put both of our voices in one voice or in one song, it would sound pretty epic.
That'd be cool. Ronnie, you hear that? Yeah, she's ready to go.
Ronnie, we're manifesting this.
Absolutely. How about a different genre of maybe artists that you'd like to bring in or something like that? Is that something you thought of? I mean, obviously, you had the pop side a little bit, and
Mm.
now you're dabbling more into the rock metal side, but maybe a different genre of artists to collaborate with.
If I ever could collaborate with Avril Lavigne, I would die happy.
Yeah, I saw that one coming, I guess. I just led
Yeah,
you right
you
into
set
that.
yourself up for that.
Yeah, here's the softball pitch. Hit it right out of the park.
Yeah. I feel like though certain female vocalists, if you put them in the same song as me, it might be hard to tell us apart. Because I've thought about that before. I'm like, if Maria Brink and I ever did a duet and we were both screaming, it would just sound like one person. I feel like if Avril Lavigne and I were like singing in like the same range, it would just probably sound like the same person.
Well, how about this? I've asked this question way back in the day. I'll bring it back again. Is obviously people do covers in that,
Mm,
but if somebody would cover, let's say, Succubus, who would you
mm.
want to be that artist to cover Succubus?
Oh, see, I want to go back and just say Maria Brink again because I feel like the screams in that song, like with like that higher register style scream, would fit her voice perfectly as well. And I feel like if she did like the lower vocals on the verse, like with her breathy style, it would sound really good.
How about is there any pop artists, maybe rap artists, country artists that maybe would fit that song at all, since it's kind of a fun song, not a serious song?
Hmm. Rap and country are two genres that I absolutely do not listen to and probably
Okay.
couldn't even think of anybody. But for pop, I feel like maybe, I feel like maybe like Halsey would do a good job of it.
Ooh, I love Halsey.
I
Yeah.
feel like she could do
Yeah.
something cool with it.
There we go. I think that'd be a good collab. Halsey and Living Dead Girl.
Yeah, because those her vocals aren't at all like similar to mine, so at least it would be two different enough flavors to like throw into one
That gives
track.
you gives you something to think about for 2026. You mentioned obviously you're going to tour in 2026. Any other surprises maybe coming out in 2026? Maybe on merchandise, special lines of something. You're dropping something new. Is there anything out there?
We have some more music videos coming out, 4 songs off of Conspiracy that we are working on right now. So we're excited to keep bringing the songs to life with the visual component of it. Obviously, if you like follow Living Dagger, you can see that visuals are like a really big thing for this band. So we're gonna be putting out more videos. We've got that documentary coming out,
Yep.
and definitely always more merch designs because I'm addicted to designing merchandise. That's another thing I do myself is all of our graphics and designs, everything comes from me.
So is it easier to do merch designing than writing songs?
Honestly, yeah, like I've made some of our merch designs on my phone and just like put them up on the website. Like I remember that one t-shirt we did years ago that was like our top selling t-shirt ever. It's like a cartoon of me in a coffin. I like made it on Pixar on my phone while I was in an Uber to the airport. And then I just put it on like a dropship t-shirt and it was like our top selling shirt ever.
Love it. Love
Like
it.
to this day, like we've sold hundreds of that shirt design and I made it in like 5 minutes.
Well, there you go. You'll have to bring it back again if it's not in the line anymore.
Oh, we do still sell that one because people still love that one more than like a lot of the other ones. We still do that one.
Well, then, for more people who want more information, maybe they want that shirt. How can they get that information or that shirt?
So you can go to our website, livingdeadgirl.ca. Remember, it's .ca like Canada, not .com. We've got our official merchandise store there with all kinds of things like conspiracy CDs, vinyl, the new shirts, the old shirts. Everything's all in one spot there. You can also find our music videos, our photos, our tour dates. It's all like a one-stop shop there.
Awesome. And hopefully we'll see you maybe in 2026 here in Minnesota. We'd love to have you come down and play.
Yeah, of course.
And Molly, as always, thanks so much for joining me. I wish you a good holidays, you and your husband and the band, and we'll see you in 2026.
Thank you. Take care.
Once again, that is Molly. The band is Living Dead Girl. Of course, the winner of the Rock of the Darkney musical, brand new song, is Succubus, which spit in on 94 Rocks.